Welcome to the Global War Watch Network, where we break down the tech and tactics that are really shaping modern conflict. Hey, if you want to stay ahead of the curve on all this stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. All right, let's get right into it.
So think about some of the most dangerous jobs in any Navy. Now imagine those jobs being handled entirely by smart robots instead of people. Well, that's not science fiction anymore. India just revealed new AI-powered underwater drones that can hunt down enemy mines all by themselves. And here's the kicker, they can fit right in a backpack. Seriously.
You know, for as long as we've had ships fighting at sea, underwater mines have been this terrifying hidden threat. I mean, they can completely shut down vital shipping lanes, they can cripple a billion-dollar warship in an instant, and they can just sit there, waiting for decades. Taking care of these things has always been one of the riskiest jobs out there.
So how do you even begin to find something you can't see lurking beneath the waves? Well, the old way, it was rough. We're talking about these huge, specialized, and super expensive mine hunting ships. You'd have dozens of crew members on board, just slowly, methodically sweeping massive stretches of ocean. It's a painfully slow process, and the whole time you're putting the crew and the entire ship right in the line of fire.
And this really shows you the massive leap we're talking about. On one hand, you've got the traditional way. These big, crude ships, complex manual systems, a ton of risk for the people on board, and just a massive logistical tail. But then you look at the new approach. It's portable, it's autonomous, it's low risk, and it's all networked together. This isn't just a small step up, it's a completely different way of thinking about the entire problem.
Here's an analogy for you. The old way? It's kind of like sending out a giant, slow, vulnerable fishing trawler to go look for great white sharks. Not a great idea, right? But this new method, it's like sending out a whole fleet of small, super fast robotic scouts. They coordinate with each other, they find exactly where the sharks are, and they report back to you while you're sitting safely on the beach. It's a total shift from putting yourself at risk to building in resilience.
Okay, so what is this game-changing solution? Well, it comes from India's Defense Research and Development Organization. You'll know them as the DRDO. They've developed something called the Man-Portable Autonomous Underwater Vehicle, or MP-AUV for short. And let me tell you, it is a world away from that old high-risk way of doing things.
So let's break down what makes this thing so special. First off, it's compact. It's man-portable. This was designed so small naval teams can deploy it super easily. What that means in practice is they can launch these things from small boats, even in pretty remote spots, without needing some giant support ship hanging around. It's all about being fast, agile, and flexible.
And the credit for this really groundbreaking system goes to a specific lab within the DRDO, the Naval Science and Technological Laboratory, or NSTL. Now, this is India's top lab for anything that goes underwater. In a project like this, it just goes to show how much the country's expertise in developing its own advanced defense tech has grown.
All right, so the big question is, how do these drones actually operate all on their own? Because, let's be clear, this is not just some remote-controlled toy submarine. This is a truly autonomous hunter. So let's get into the tech that makes it all tick.
The brains of this thing are really a combination of three key technologies working together. First, you've got advanced sonar sensors, which is how it sees in the dark, murky water. Then there's a deep learning AI right on board that acts as its intelligence. It has to understand what it's seeing. And finally, there's a really robust acoustic communication system. You know, radio waves are basically useless underwater, so this is how the drones actually talk to each other.
So here's the hunting process, broken down into a few steps. First, the drone uses its side-scan sonar and cameras to create a map of the seabed, and it flags anything that looks out of place. Step 2, the onboard AI kicks in. It starts analyzing the object's shape, what it's made of, how it reflects sound. Then, and this is the cool part, it compares all that data against a huge library of known threats that it has stored. And finally, it makes a call. It automatically classifies the object and tells the human operators, hey, this is just a rock, or watch out, this looks like a mine. And it does all of that without anyone needing to hold its hand.
But here's the real kicker. They don't work alone. These things operate as a decentralized swarm. Using that special acoustic network we talked about, multiple drones can share information with each other in real time. They can coordinate their search patterns to cover an area way faster. They can even team up to get a better look at a potential target to confirm what it is. It means there's no single point of failure. It's a true, intelligent, networked team.
Okay, so the tech is obviously super impressive, but what's the so what? What does this actually mean for the Indian Navy? What's the big picture for naval warfare as a whole?
Well, the strategic advantages are huge. This system gives a massive boost to the Indian Navy's ability to handle critical missions. We're talking about mine detection, protecting harbors, doing really detailed surveys of the seabed. And it does all of this while taking sailors and those incredibly expensive ships out of harm's way. Bottom line, it makes dangerous jobs safer and really complex jobs a whole lot faster.
You know, the chairman of the DRDO himself, Dr. Samir V. Kamat, really summed it up perfectly. He said this platform embodies the principles of intelligent, low-risk, and networked operations. And honestly, that's pretty much the new playbook for modern naval warfare. And India isn't just talking about it, they're actually putting it into practice.
And make no mistake, this is not just some science fair project. The DRDO has confirmed that the MP-AUV is moving into full-scale production. They've already teamed up with private companies to make sure they can build these things fast and scale up over the next few months. So yeah, these drones are going to be entering service very, very soon.
Now, this project didn't just happen in a vacuum. It's part of a much larger ecosystem. The DRDO's whole industrial and research network is valued at over 80,000 crore rupees. That number, it just gives you a sense of the incredible scale of India's homegrown defense industry that's making projects like this even possible.
So, when you put it all together, what does it mean? It means that by fielding these AI-driven, swarm-capable drones, India is joining a very, very exclusive club of nations. It's a powerful signal about the country's rise as a top-tier developer of cutting-edge military tech, especially when it comes to the supercritical world of underwater warfare.
And all of this brings us to one final huge question for you. We're literally watching autonomous systems take over one of the most dangerous jobs there is at sea. Now that AI swarms are rewriting the rules of the game, what do you think is next for naval warfare? Where does it go from here?
And that's our look at India's new AI drone swarms. I'm really curious, what are your thoughts on this tech? Drop them in the comments section below. I'd love to read them. And hey, if you got some value out of this breakdown, do us a huge favor and like, share, and of course, subscribe to the Global War Watch Network. We're also on social media. All the links are down in the description. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you in the next one.